Actor Russell Brand announces he will be baptized as a Christian on Sunday. By Thomas D. Williams, Ph.D. on April 27, 2024. Comedian and Hollywood actor Russell Brand announced Friday that he will be baptized as a Christian on Sunday. Baptism. This Sunday I'm taking the plunge. How was it for you? Brand wrote on X, former Twitter. In an accompanying video, Brand said he had heard baptism explained to him as an opportunity to die and be reborn. An opportunity to leave the past behind and be reborn in Christ's name, like it says in Galatians, that you can live as an enlightened and awakened person. The 48-year-old actor proposed that increasing numbers are turning back to Christianity as the empty value system of modernity crumbles and leaves them wanting more. I know a lot of people are sort of cynical about the increasing interest in Christianity and the return to God, but to me, it's obvious, he said. As meaning deteriorates in the modern world, as our value systems and institutions crumble, all of us become increasingly aware that there is this eerily familiar awakening and beckoning figure that we've all known all of our lives within us and around us. And for me, it's very exciting, he declared. Brand added that he intends to get baptized in the proverbially dirty River Thames, joking that he might also be getting baptized in toxoplasmosis and E. coli. I may be leaving behind the sins, but I might be picking up some pretty serious viruses, he said. In 2023, Brand underscored his need for God in his life, insisting that without him, he cannot cope in this world. I need spirituality, Brand told Fox News host Tucker Carlson. I need God, or I cannot cope in this world. As much as I might enjoy the feeling of privilege and luxury, the forgetting Sarah Marshall star told Carlson, I remember what reality is. I remember that my wellness is contingent upon spiritual connection, upon certain values and principles, he continued. And they, I'm sorry to admit, involve sacrifice and self-scrutiny about my own conduct and behavior, which often fall short, and I'm working on improving myself. Like many desperate people, I need spirituality, Brand said. I need God, or I cannot cope in this world. I need to believe in the best in people. In his introduction to the segment, Carlson noted Russell Brand has been an actor, comedian, and podcast host for decades, but all of a sudden, he's one of the most forceful voices for the truth in the English-speaking world. He's also a deeply interesting person with a lot of insights about God. Amazing, Russell Brand. This past December, Brand told his followers he was reading the Bible and the Problem of Pain, a 1940 book by C.S. Lewis that explores the meaning of suffering in human life. In January, he said he was reading Rick Warren's The Purpose-Driven Life and that he desired a personal relationship with God. In April, Brand posted a video explaining how to pray the Rosary, although he acknowledged that he has not fully mastered some of the prayers. For meditation today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to chant the Holy Rosary, he said. Now, I don't know all of the prayers, like it begins and ends with certain prayers. But today, we'll be looking at the chant itself. At the end of the prayers, Brand said, I'm a little blissed out. Follow at Williamsrom.
Here, this is in defense of Russell Brand. I don't know Russell. I've not met Russell. I've had mutual friends. I've heard a bit about him over the years. I've had mutual friends. I've heard a bit about him over the years. It's generally been good. I'm just like everyone else in the so-called truther movement. I'm also interested in who's who in the zoo. And I've always had an interest in anyone that's kind of an icon who has exited Hollywood and has managed to define themselves outside of the dragnet of Hollywood. And I'd say that as far as Russell Brand is concerned, and again, not knowing the man, just knowing as much more or less that you know about him, I would say that my mum's a huge fan of his in the first instance, so I have to say that. But I like his visage. I like his beautiful face. I like his beautiful tone. He's strident. He's dynamic. He's constantly on the front foot. He doesn't take much shit from what I can see. There are things about his persona and character which I could speculate on and I could make a noise about in the same way that people do that about me. So I'm not likely to go there. But I do know a good human when I see one, and I do know a counterculture revolutionary when I see one, and that's because I position myself in that frame. And it concerns me deeply and very desperately when somebody who has clearly exited the satanic thrall of Hollywood has stepped away altogether from the paraphernalia and the apparatus of that kind of idolatry, and has, by best accounts, made a very real and very human effort to clean the fuck out of the basement in his own life, in his own heart, in his own mind, and spiritualize and alchemize his being into frontline truth activism. Now, I will say as well, being a career truther in that sense, and someone who's still alive to tell the tale, I will say that I don't have inordinate respect for Russell as a truther, because the way I see it, many of us were in the trenches a long time ago, many years ago, David Icke being the great icon I can reference, but certainly I've been around getting on for as long as Icke, 24 years. It's my 24th year in the business, you know. So I have some credentials and I've earned some stripes, put it that way, despite the savage and venal attacks that I've had to put up with over the years. And I've been sniped at for, you know, at least the last 10 years since I started speaking publicly. And I've had all sorts of heinous attacks on me. And I know how many of them are founded in kind of an understandable speculation. Like, I get it. I get how the fuck does someone like me manage to get to all those places, meet all those powerful people, and have such a repertoire to be able to speak to. It does beg a belief in some ways, and does look as though either I'm a sort of arch fantasist, or a controlled opposition, like some Vatican agent or whatever. So I've had all that shit thrown at me in some ways, and fantasist, or a controlled opposition, like some Vatican agent or whatever. So I've had all that shit thrown at me.
Good day today. Well, all are connected to Sasha Stone, which means they're interlinked with the UN. Unbelievable what I found in the last couple days. Academy of Divine Knowledge. Look, but this has been a long road in the process here, so if you haven't seen any of these on this main channel or my second channel with Madej, Sherry Tenpenny, and so many others that I've done, Buttar video as well, just take a look to see how I've been looking and wondering what is going on. Who are some of the teachers, as I hold my fingers up in quotations? There you have it. Sherry Tenpenny. Big Tree, Icke is no surprise, and so many others. Maybe you recognize them, maybe you don't. But it